You need to keep on praying. That's the title, that's the focus of today's Daily Dose devotion. Look, you've been around me long enough, you know that I love prayer. I believe prayer is one of the most powerful and most special gifts we've received from the Lord. Time in prayer is always time well spent. And look, the more time we spend praying, the more we understand just how true this is. Yet here's the deal. I feel that we miss out on so much of what this gift of prayer has to offer because we too easily give up. We quit. We cut it short. Or even at times we completely forget about praying. So here comes some encouragement. You ready? Here's my encouragement. Keep praying. Keep praying. Maybe you ask, why? Why should I keep praying? Why should I keep praying for my wife to be healed, right? I could be asking that question right now. After all, this problem, this disease, this physical struggle has been going on for years now. Why should I keep praying? Maybe you're like, why should I keep praying for the breakthrough? After all, nothing's changing. I'm still struggling. Why should I keep praying? Maybe you're like, why should I keep praying for our prodigal child to come back to the Lord? It's been years. It's been years and it's not getting better. They're not walking closer to Jesus. They keep walking further away. Why should I keep praying? Why should I keep nothing's changing? Why should I keep praying? Maybe you're asking for revival in this land, in this nation. I mean, look at the condition of the nation. It's not going from worse to better. It's going from better to worse. Why should I keep praying? Why should I keep praying for reconciliation in my marriage? Why should we keep praying? Because persistence pays off in the place of prayer. Let me say that again. Persistence pays off when it comes to prayer. Jesus often stressed persistence when he taught on prayer. For instance, there's a parable of the persistent friend found in Luke chapter 11. Let's check it out beginning verse 5. Then he said to them, suppose one of you has a friend and he goes to him at midnight and says, friend, hey, lend me 3 loaves of bread. Because a friend of mine is on a journey. He's come to me and I have nothing to set before him. Then the one inside answers, don't bother me. Don't bother me. The door is already locked and my children are with me in bed. I can't get up and give you anything. And then check out what it says in verse 8. I tell you, though he will not get up and give him the bread because he is his friend, yet because of the man's boldness, meaning his continuing to knock and ask, because of his boldness, he will get up and give him as much as he needs. Again, that's Luke chapter 11. Did you see what just happened? Jesus just gave us permission in this parable. He just gave us permission to bother God with our prayers, with our requests. In fact, Jesus encourages us to be bold about it. Not bossy with God, never do that. But to be bold as we come before the Lord. After all, why was the man in this parable rewarded? Because he kept on asking, seeking, and knocking. He didn't give up. Check this out. I used to be a paper boy. That's right. I used to throw papers for a living. Back in the day when I was a kid, I needed to make some money, right? And as a paper boy, we had to collect monthly payments from our customers. They didn't pay online. We didn't have online payment. There was no internet back then, you know what I'm saying? So we had to go around house to house and collect the payments from our customers. And this taught me that knocking lightly on a door wasn't going to get me very far. If I didn't knock loud enough, maybe because I felt shy or embarrassed, so I was just kind of tapping lightly. If I didn't knock loud enough, the door would go unanswered. And when the door went unanswered, I would walk away empty-handed. Well, I quickly learned to knock on the door with confidence and with persistence. Not to be annoying, but I really needed that money. I needed to collect that money so that I would get paid. After all, I wasn't delivering those papers in the dead cold of the Illinois winter for charity. It was not necessarily a fun job. This kid needed some spending money, you know what I'm saying? So church, Jesus is giving us permission to knock boldly and loudly and often. Jesus is encouraging his church to keep praying. And I want to say that again. I encourage you, keep praying. Hey, do you remember the story about the persistent widow? It's also found in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 18. Let's look at it, beginning in verse 1. It says, Then Jesus told his disciples a parable to show them that they should always pray and not give up. He said, in a certain town, there was a judge who neither feared God nor cared about men. And there was a widow in that town who kept coming to him with the plea, Grant me justice against my adversary. So for some time he refused, but finally he said to himself, look, even though I don't fear God or care about men, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will see that she gets justice so that she won't eventually wear me out with her coming. And the Lord said, listen to what the unjust judge says. And will not God bring about justice for his chosen ones who cry out to him, pray, right? Cry out to him day and night. Will he keep putting them off? I tell you, he will see that they get justice and quickly. However, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on the earth? Luke 18, 1 through 8. Again, Jesus, right here once again, encourages us to be persistent with our prayers. He's not offended with that. He's telling us to cry out day and night. Don't give up. Jesus is giving us the green light to bother God with our needs. Do you have needs? Jesus is saying, bother God with your needs. Bring your needs, your cares, your hurt, your pain to the Lord and keep bringing it to him. Jesus is encouraging us to keep on praying. And I look around and I think, you know what? Maybe now more than ever, we need a persistence in our prayer life. We need to persevere in asking, seeking, and knocking for the things of God. We need God. We need to pray. In the midst of this strange season that we've been in, that we're coming out of, all related to this COVID and other stuff going on in our nation and our world, so many of our plans have been blown up. Even our perceived momentum maybe has been slowed down, stopped, and interrupted. Look, now more than ever, the church needs to persevere in prayer. We need to pray. Don't give up. Now isn't the time to quit. Now isn't the time even to slow down or hunker down. After all, God's word is true. He is trustworthy. And look, it says in Hebrews 11:6 that God will reward those who earnestly seek him. That's talking about prayer. That's talking about pressing into the Lord. So here's my encouragement as I close out. Be blessed and keep on praying.